How to use your network to get customers. Part 3. Post on your social network. Everyone has some number of subscribers, someone following you. That means you already have an active audience of contacts that you can use. You just need to understand how to do it right. The easiest option is to write a post like this. Hi guys, I decided to acquire a new profession as a digital marketer, and now I'm looking for people who would be interested in it. I can set up an ad campaign on Facebook or Instagram for your business. If anyone is interested, please direct message me. Also, I'd be grateful if you could recommend someone who would be interested. Mention such people in the comments. Best regards. This is the simplest version of the script. More advanced option is to use the storytelling script. Let's call it a hero's journey. Guys, go to Wikipedia and read Hero's Journey article. This is a fairly well-known and common narrative structure that is the basis for almost all movies, fairy tales, and various narrative works. This is quite a bit information in the article, but I will give a brief and simplified overview of it. We have simplified and adopted this method for the topic of our course. To begin with, we'll look at the example of the scheme that we prepared, then at the example of the text, and finally I will tell you how to apply it in practice. Let's start with the structure. So, in the beginning, the hero lives an ordinary life like everyone else. If you remember the movie Lord of the Rings, Frodo lived in Shire, he had an ordinary life and everything was fine. Harry Potter too, he lived in an ordinary English town and didn't know he was a would-be great wizard. After that, there is a call to adventure, and the main character understands that he is not like everyone else. If you remember Star Wars, in the episode 4, when Luke Skywalker is checking out R2-D2, he accidentally launches a message from the Princess Leia asking for help, addressed to Obi-Wan Kenobi. And after R2-D2 disappears, he goes to look for him. Or in Harry Potter, when the owl delivers the letter from Hogwarts. This is the call to adventure. Next comes the refusal of the call. The main character says it's not about him, he's an ordinary man, not a hero. Going back to the same Star Wars episode 4, after watching the Princess' full message, Obi-Wan offers Luke to go with him and explore the path of the Force, but Luke refuses. And that the protagonist meets a mentor. If we're talking about Harry Potter, Hagrid comes to him, gives him a cake, wishes him happy birthday, and tells him that he is a wizard. In the same Star Wars episode mentioned above, Luke had already met Obi-Wan and refused to go with him to Leia's home planet. But after he finds out the Imperial stormtroopers killed his uncle and aunt, he agrees and goes with him. In The Lord of the Rings, it is Gandalf who persuades Frodo to leave Shire and go to Rivendell to decide what to do with the ring. The next step may be called decision to act. The hero answers to the call of adventure and starts the journey. Next is the first meeting the opponent. In the various films, the opponent is a negative character, Lord Voldemort, Sauron, or the dark side of power. But in your life, it can be various difficulties, challenges, situations that you fight and overcome. At this point, the hero is defeated. For example, in Harry Potter, this technique is used regularly. The hero begins to act, faces difficulties, and is defeated, but continues to act and fight. If we talk about Frodo, this is his meeting with Aragorn, and the first fight with the Nazguls, when he was wounded with a magical dagger and almost died. Then the hero finds the artifact. If we're talking about Harry Potter, during the films he even gets several artifacts, like a magic wand, invisibility cloak, mirror of Erased, and others. In Star Wars, Luke gets his father's lightsaber from Obi-Wan. These artifacts help the hero on his way. Then there is a second meeting with the opponent, and hero wins. In the Star Wars, it's the destruction of the first Death Star. In The Lord of the Rings, it's the destruction of the ring. In the first part, Harry Potter defeats Professor Quirrell and does not let Voldemort to obtain the Philosopher's Stone. Next is the victory and reward. And after that, returning home but a changed person. After all the adventures, the hero returns, but already a completely new person, changed during the journey. Now let's take a look at an example of a post that uses storytelling techniques. To do this, let's go back to Miro, the link we added below this video. So we begin with the description of ordinary life. Many people know me as a grocery store worker, but today I decided to tell you what I have been doing for the past 3 months. My job at the grocery store was stable and well paid. I was able to pay my rent, support my family, and go on an inexpensive vacation. It seemed like a good job. Then we tell about the need for change in life, like a call to adventure. But every time I ask it myself, was this really what I was made for? Is that all? Am I going to work in a grocery store for the rest of my life? Then come doubts and fears on how to start and whether it is worth it. I began to get interested in the internet and marketing. While working in the store, I observed different brand promotions and I liked it. Each company tried to stand out from the competition. But every time I couldn't decide to start studying marketing. In 2020, there was a pandemic and I was out of work. At that moment, I understood that it was not cool to work offline. The internet gives you more opportunities and more interesting lifestyle. I started looking for information on the topic of digital marketing. What is it? What is it for? How does it work? Why is digital marketing so popular? Then the person who is a guide appears, helping to start taking the first steps on the adventure journey. At one of the events, I met John. John has his marketing agency for Facebook advertising. John and I are the same age. He works remotely, travels all the time, and he does interesting projects. I work hard and get up at 7 a.m. to get to work. At this moment, I understood that I need to make a change. So I decided to become a digital marketer. Here you describe what problems you faced. In the evenings, along with my work, I started watching video tutorials on the internet. A lot of confusing words, SEO, SMM, pixel, content marketing, and so on. It was very hard for me. At one moment, I even wanted to give up. I didn't think I could do it. In this case, it's our school, which is what helped to figure it out. Then, by chance, I saw some ads from Apiway on Instagram. It didn't take me long to sign up for basic course on Facebook advertising. It quickly taught me how to run ads on Facebook and set up integration with Google Sheets using Apiway. It's a simple service that you can sell very easily and quickly, but I didn't know that at the time. I always thought it was difficult, but it really isn't when you know the sequence of what to learn and what to do. Then describe how you overcame the barriers in your path. I finished all my training tasks and tried to find a couple of clients for my ad setup service. I called everyone I knew and went to a business meeting. After meeting a few entrepreneurs, I told them what I was doing. In your case, you can talk about your first order, your first client, and how clients later started coming to you. I will never forget the morning of the 21st of October 2020 when Helen messaged me. I had just met her at a business conference. She said she wanted to order my advertising setup service for her real estate agency. I was shocked. I was scared at first, but then I got my thoughts together. I said it would cost $200, to which she said, okay. I did my first order and she was satisfied. I went to every conference in my city and did the same thing over and over again. And all of this was going at the same time as my main job at the grocery store. At some point, I had 7 clients who paid me $300 monthly, and I started earning more than in the grocery store. Here you summarize the story and talk about how you and your life have changed. Yesterday, I made an important decision. I quit my job at the grocery store and became a marketer. I didn't want to write this before because I was afraid that maybe I wouldn't succeed. What if it's the first couple of customers and then there will be no more? What will I do? But now I understand how to find them for sure. It's an interesting turn in my life. In the end, you need to add a call to action to say that now you are doing such services and would be glad to help somebody with it. If any of you need a service to promote the business on Instagram or Facebook, contact me. And if you recommend me to anyone, I'll buy you a coffee. So, your homework is to post a story on your Instagram and post it on your other social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, and others. See you in the next video.